Focus isn't on the makeup today, the focus is on the food. Need some coffee and a cookie. Our first look, we're gonna start off like super minimalist. I just blow dried my hair, but I'm not going to use any heat tools on it because we're just going to put it up at the end. I'm gonna start off by just putting on a little bit of the Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme, just for fun, just to kind of moisturize our lips and kind of give it a little bit of an oomph. This is a super optional. I would just put on maybe a little bit of chapstick or some sort of lip product just to moisturize your lips a little bit. Next, we're gonna jump into skin. So I'm gonna use a little bit of the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer just to prime the skin and blur a little bit of the pores. You want to wait 30 seconds before putting on any foundation or concealer when you use that primer. So while we're kind of waiting for that, I'm going to put on a little bit of eyeshadow primer. And I'm going to use my Morphe eyelid primer to do that. If you wanted to skip this part, you can just use concealer instead when you do your under eye as your base, and then set that with powder just like we're going to do with the primer. With a clean brush, I'm going to dip into a little bit of the Palladio rice powder. This is one of my favorite inexpensive powders for the face. It's not chalky, it doesn't make your face look too whitewashed. It's really wonderful, and you can get this on Amazon for super cheap. I think it was only like $5 maybe. It's awesome. I feel like my lips have gotten so red from that plumper. Next, I'm going to grab our Instant Age Rewind Concealer from Maybelline. This one is fairly close to my skin color. Not completely, it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. So I want to use this to cover up blemishes, and I'm just gonna use my fingers because I want to just do a super minimalist look for Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, that's pretty close. Just any red spots around my nose. We're gonna just use a little bit of this to just make things a little bit less chaotic on the face. And I'm not doing as much rubbing motion as I am just kind of tapping. I'm gonna put a little bit here just to kind of help conceal the pores. Works hand in hand with that e.l.f. Putty Primer. Much better. I have the need to just put this all over my face. I'm just like, even coverage everywhere. For the under eye, if you have this in a lighter color, I would just recommend using this. This is a wonderful concealer from the drugstore, but I'm going to use just a little bit of Jeffree Star because this is a lighter shade, so this is going to help brighten my under eye, but I'm just going to go in with just a tiny bit. I wanted to put a little tiny bit of Maybelline on my nose too, just to kind of even out the coloring. So that's better. So now I have a nice and bright under eye. My blemishes are covered up from concealer. My lips are moisturized before we're going to put on a little bit of lip color in a bit. My eyelids are primed and prepped. So before we move on, I'm going to just take a little bit of the Palladio rice powder, and we'll just take kind of a fluffy brush like this so we can dip into the powder and just set the under eye so that way we won't have any creasing. Make sure that's blended out before you set it. All right, and with that same powder, I'm going to take this brush. I actually got this in my BoxyCharm. This month, for the first time ever, they sent their own brushes. And I actually really love this one. It's perfect for kind of just pressing the powder into the face. It's dense, but also super, super soft. So I'm going to just dip that into the powder. So I have just a decent amount of powder on the brush, and I'm going to just stamp that into the face. I found this has really helped to conceal oils, which is like a huge conflict area for me. I have really oily skin, so pressing this into the face and just helping to conceal those oils is awesome. I'm really just putting a light amount of this everywhere. Okay, we're done with this powder for now. So the next thing I want to do is just to bronze up the face a little bit. I just want to kind of give a little bit of warmth back into the face. I'm going to use the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. This one you can get on Amazon as well for pretty inexpensive, although I did just see it at Marshall's for like $4. Right after I bought it, I saw it at Marshall's, so I was like, seriously? But it's super pigmented, so just go in with just a little bit, and we're gonna just bronze up and stamp. So you just kind of add a little bit of warmth, a little bit of depth. You can already see that happening. This side compared to this side just kind of gives it a little bit of definition. I'm gonna do a little bit of that there, and then a little bit up on the forehead, a little bit on the chin. The last place I want to put that is on my nose, just to kind of give it a little bit of definition. I love to contour my nose, but I don't want to go crazy. So I'm going to take a eyeshadow brush. This is actually a crease brush, and I'm going to just take a little bit of this, and we're going to go just right down the nose, just a smidge. Just kind of contour that a little bit. I don't know how well you can see that in the camera, but it's very, very subtle in person, so it might not even be very visible on the camera. It's just a little bit of definition just right down the bridge of the nose, kind of making my bridge look a little bit smaller. Next item I want to grab for this look is probably the most expensive item we've used so far. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio in the shade Pink Passion. There are 3 different shades in here. I actually just like to mix them all and just run the brush across all 3 of those and then just kind of stamp it on my hand to make that look a little bit subtle so there's not too much product. I'm going to put a little bit of that on my cheekbones. Just going to smile and kind of get right here on the apple of my cheek and working up just a smidge. This is really going to add life back into the skin and just make you look kind of jolly. I'm going to use the Profusion Brows 2 for this next step with our brows. I really love the shade Espresso in this kit. It's kind of a more like smoky dark brown versus a warm brown that the chocolate is, or Java is what it's called. But before we do that, I'm going to grab another eyeshadow brush. This is actually one from Urban Decay, so any just like pencil brush that you have. And I'm going to dip into the shade Brow Light. And this is the one that you can use to really highlight the brow. But what I'm going to do with that is go down the bridge of the nose really quick so we can accentuate that little quick contouring that we did. Let's dip into our brows next because we just used that little highlight for our nose. So let's go ahead and do the brows. This kit comes with literally everything you need. There is brow wax in here. It doesn't have brow gel, so if you wanted to apply brow gel, that is an additional product you would need to get. So I'm going to go ahead and just do my brows really quick, and then we'll touch back for the eyeshadow portion. Okay, so it's time to move into eyes since the face is basically done. So I'm going to take the Tartelette in Bloom palette. I'm going to use, oh gosh, scared the life out of me. Okay, we're good. So I'm going to take the same brush that we used to set the face with the translucent powder. I'm going to take the shade Flower Child, which is this one right here. This is obviously a very well-loved palette. I'm going to take a little bit of Flower Child, and we're going to just do that right here in the crease. Taking that same brush one more time, I'm going to go into Sweetheart. Again, just in the crease. I'm going to angle it down and kind of do just a V shape right here. So this is darkening the eye a little tiny bit and just adding a little bit of depth, but we're definitely going to go for a warmer kind of light look. Don't want to go too crazy. Focus isn't on the makeup today, the focus is on the food. Okay, so now that we kind of have a little bit more depth to our eyes, especially in the crease, what I'm going to do is work the outer corner just a smidge. So I don't want to go too dark. I'm going to take the shade Rebel, which is just like a few shades darker than Sweetheart. And we're going to take a smidge of that and work that in the outer corner, but we're not going to go outside of the like inner lid. So I want to kind of just stay in the lid area, just darken right at the corner. So now we have just a little bit more depth on the outer corner. I want to go back in with Sweetheart with just this e.l.f. brush. It's a super simple little one. I'm going to put that right under the eye right here. Got how easy these shadows were to work with. They just all blend so nice. Lots of fallout though, but they blend so good. Next, what I want to do is just take a little precision brush, and I want to take Charmer, which is the white shade in this palette, and we're going to put that in the inner corner. I'm also going to place that right on the brow bone. At this point, you could either stop here and then go in with the liner that we're going to do, or you could add a little bit of sparkle. I love sparkle, so I'm going to add just a little bit of Funny Girl just on my fingers. So I'm just going to rub my finger in there and place that from the center of the eye inward. Gives a very subtle glow. You can also place Funny Girl in the inner corner if you want to give a little bit more of a pop to the inner corner, instead of doing, what shade was that? Charmer. For liner, I'm going to choose not to do black this time, but instead I'm going to go in with Activist. I'm going to take some Mario Badescu green tea spray, wet that brush a little bit, so just getting some of that on my brush. We're going to just do a simple liner. What I do want to do really quick is just spray the face with some setting spray. I like to do that before mascara because my lashes are really long and it gets on my under eye, and then it's so frustrating and difficult to fix. So we're going to do the spray first. And I'm going to take my powder brush one more time and just go in, kind of just seal everything in. All right, let's go ahead and apply mascara. Another thing I've been really loving doing lately is just putting mascara on the top lashes. So I'm going to leave this just how it is. If you want to apply mascara on your bottom lashes, you go for it. Another thing you can do to really brighten the eyes is apply a nude or white eyeliner on your inner waterline on your lower lash line. So just right in here, if you want to really brighten up that area, just apply some nude or white liner right there and it'll really open up your eyes. For lips, I really love to line a natural look with this one from e.l.f. This is their shade Natural in their lip liners. This is not my favorite lip liner and it does not smell very good, but it gets the job done. So we're going to use this today. Hiya, honey.
Hey, babe. What are you doing?
I'm filming a video. What are you doing?
I was going to see if you want to run the Bimart for Lucky Number Tuesday.
Oh, I'd love to.
And then maybe we should get you a Bimart card so that way we can double our odds.
We could do that if you want. That plumper also just made this glide on so smooth, so it blended out really nice just all around my lips, so I don't really feel like I need to do much else. So what I want to do is just apply some gloss over the top of that. I feel like gloss is so easy and so effortless, especially if you want to go for a more natural look. And that way too, while you're eating your Thanksgiving food, you won't have to worry about like reapplying your lipstick or anything like that. You can just quickly apply some more gloss. Since we're kind of going inexpensive themed already, I was going to reach for one of my Buxom glosses, but instead I'm going to use one of my all-time favorite juicy lip glosses. I think this one is fantastic. I honestly love this even more than the Fenty one, which I feel like is saying something because hers is very juicy and amazing. But this is the Palladio lip gloss in the shade Pink Candy. I got this on Amazon for $5 and they have a variety of shades. It's on my wish list for Christmas to get more because this is just seriously my favorite. And I feel like I go through this so fast. I do apply a lot just because I love the juicier look, so I'm going to apply a lot. At this point, I probably would put my hair up. I was thinking of putting it in a bun or just pulling it back in just some simple studs or some pretty little hoops. I think would complement this look really, really well. Maybe some fun rings or something. I probably wouldn't put on a necklace since I'm wearing a turtleneck and I wanted it to be simple. But let's zoom in and look at this look up close. So this is our super simple Thanksgiving look. Let's move on over to look number 2. So I curled my hair this time to add a little bit more bounce to the look. I'm also wearing this really pretty kind of an auburn orange top. That's going to tie in with the colors of eyeshadow that we're going to be using today, which is mostly going to be purples. I think this look will be really fun for those of you that like to add a little bit of spice of colors to your look. So depending on what you're wearing, you can adjust the color of your eyeshadow. I'm going to be using the Natasha Denona palette and the Violet Voss Essentials palette. For each look though, I will have separate description boxes underneath the video. So if you're curious about what I used for each one, that'll be listed down below. I already did all of my base, so I used a little bit of a different primer today, the Tarte Smoothing Primer instead of e.l.f. I love either of them, I just felt like using the Tarte one. But instead of a super full coverage foundation, I decided to just use a really light BB cream just for a softer look. And then I did contour as well as use blush, and we're going to apply highlight at the end. I did already use my brows today as well, so let's just dip into the shadows. I'm going to dip into first Dusty Rose from the Violet Voss Essentials. So I'm going to just get a little bit on my brush, tap it off, and then we're going to, oh, I forgot primer. First put on primer. I'm going to set that really quick with a translucent powder. Okay, much better. Now let's go into the crease with Dusty Rose. Similar to our previous video, I'm just going to work that in windshield wiper motions and a little bit of swirl motions right there in the crease. I'm also going to kind of pull that out a little bit more, kind of right below the end of the eyebrow right there. And then we're going to do a V shape right down there at the end. I think we'll take a little bit of the Natasha Denona. I think this is the shade Flint, this beautiful creamy brown. So I'm going to dip into that just with the same brush. Not going to be complicated and say a different brush for every product, so we'll just use the same one, and we're going to do that in the same area. I'm going to grab the brush that we applied the translucent powder on in the beginning and just kind of blend out the top of that coloring. Next, I'm going to dip into the shade Cinnamon from Violet Voss, and taking a kind of fluffier, larger pencil brush, I'm just going to lightly tap into that because I know it's a really dark color, but I want to work that on the outer corner, and we are going to build it out just a little bit more. Working it in the eye, kind of building it into the crease, and I'm just kind of slowly building it out kind of towards that outer V. And I'm going to take our brush that we used, that last crease shade, Flint from Natasha Denona, and we're going to just blend it out a little bit more. So the next thing I'm going to do is a little bit of a splash, to be honest. I want to go in with the purple. And I know that's going to be a little different, but I'm going to take just a little bit on my finger into Plumberry. It's a super, super beautiful shade. We're going to place that on the middle of the lid inward. Again, with that crease brush, I'm just going to kind of blend out right here on the crease, just a tiny bit. I don't want to disrupt what I just laid down. I'm going to take a pencil brush for that, and I'm going to go back into Natasha Denona into the shade Linen. This one is so buttery. I love this shade. So I'm going to place that on the inner corner. Get rid of the eye boogers. Okay, while I'm here, I'm also going to highlight the brow bone. Okay, this is either going to look really good or really bad. I'm going to take the shade Blue Delilah, Raisin, which is this middle one. It's a beautiful purple. And that's what we're going to apply under the eye. I'm going to be careful with this because I don't want to go too crazy. I love it. Looks so good. I'm going to go just a little heavy-handed, but then we'll blend it out. Taking a smudge brush, we're going to go in and buff this out. I love this. I'm still not going to do a liner for this look. I'm just going to use eyeshadow. Instead of using brown like we did in the last look, we're going to go in with a very black. So it's black. Just wet this brush, and then we're going to just dip into that. Kind of just tap and squiggle. We're going to draw our line. We're done with our eyeshadow palettes completely because we just did the liner. I did do a little bit of a wing. Next up is going to be mascara, and I do want to do that. I got a new one today, so I'm excited to try this one out. I don't know how that's going to go, but before we do, I want to apply this nude liner by Stila just to brighten up the eye. So I'm going to apply this nude liner right in the lower waterline. I almost forgot, before we put on lashes, we need to do setting spray. Before we do that, I'm going to take my big fluffy BoxyCharm brush that I like to use for powder, dip that in the powder, and just kind of set the face one more time. BB cream I used is very moisturizing and a little bit more on the dewy side. And I have more oily skin, so I like to just kind of set that, get everything in place before we officialize the setting. And we're going to use Urban Decay today instead of Morphe because, like I said, it's already moisturized, so I don't want to add any more dewiness to it. And to really lock in the makeup, I'm going to take my sponge and just kind of set everything in place a little bit more. Not time for mascara yet, although you could apply mascara at this point if you want to. I'm going to go in with some highlighter by Laura Geller just because we're going to have fun. Today I'm going to be a butterfly. I picked up this L'Oreal mascara, the Voluminous Butterfly Sculpt. It's supposed to give a fanned out volume. I'm really curious about it, so I decided that we're going to try this out in today's video. And I really hope it's good because we're not going to put on lashes today, although you can if you want to, but I'm going to leave it with just mascara. Let's see what this tube looks like. What on earth? How am I supposed to do anything with this? Look at this applicator, you guys. How weird is that? Okay. Yikes. This is not making me feel like a butterfly. Dang it. I'm going to return that. It's making my eyelashes super clumpy. Nope. Sometimes, you know, you can just tell when a mascara is not good. I'm gonna instead just use my Too Faced Damn Girl mascara. All right, so eyes are done. You guys, I am loving this so far. And my hair is like so voluminous today. For our lip color, I'm gonna use this Gel Color Plus Cheek Balm from Nude Sticks. This is in the shade J Mama. It has this really pretty kind of a sheen to it. Lastly, we're gonna top off our look with Gin Fizz with Buff Thumb's Lip Plumping Creams. This would be kind of like an in-between if you didn't want to go full glam, but you didn't want to do super simple, kind of like a little pop of fun color, festive for the holiday. Okay, let's go look at the full glam look number 3. Okay, so let's dig into this last look. Excuse the super tired face. I'm having to film this like fairly early in the morning so we can get this added to our video today. I already did all my face makeup, so we went with a full coverage foundation. We did concealer, we contoured. We're going to put on a little bit of highlight at the end. We did blush, we did brows. If you want to see the list of items that I used for the face steps, and just look in day 3 down in the bio. So we're gonna just dip into the primer for now so we can start going on the eyes. For our full glam look today, I'm going to be using exclusively the Tati Beauty palette. I especially want to dip into the glitters. So we're going to have a lot of fun and do something sparkly. I'm going to first start with the shade Aura, and we're going to use that just as a base to set our primer. So I just realized with the look that we're going to do, there might be a little bit more fallout, especially with the glitter. So I'm going to take some of my Huda Beauty powder and place that right below the eye, just so that if there's any fallout, we can just swoop it away. Okay, let's continue. I'm going to take that same brush and dip into the Matte Soothe. This look is going to have a lot of blending and building, so you need to be a little bit more patient since it's going to be more full glam. Next, I think we'll dip into the sequin shade of Ritual. Just lightly tapping off the excess, and we're going to deepen the crease a little bit more. Here's where things are going to get a little bit more interesting. I want to take the sequin shade of Memory, which is very dark, and we're going to first work this in our outer corner and possibly in our inner corner to do a halo look. I am going to work it up in the crease just a bit as well. Kind of doing circular motions, and then we're going to swoop into a little bit of windshield wipers up at the top. Okay, now that that is thoroughly blended out in the corner, that's when I want to kind of do a little bit of a triangle point right here, so we can just kind of have that blend out. Hold on, I need some coffee. And a cookie. How is it usually on Thanksgiving morning for you guys? Usually we would wake up a little bit earlier because family generally would go to my parents' house. I'm thinking of when I was younger. We would wake up and we would help my dad clean the house and help my mom cook in the kitchen. I would usually help her make mashed potatoes, so I would peel the potatoes and then help her cut up anything else that she needed help with. Nowadays though, since I'm married, it's a little bit different. We don't usually always go to mom and dad's for Thanksgiving. Half the time we go to my husband's family side, and then we go to my parents' side. My parents definitely has a lot more food there. There's a lot more people. Since I have 10 siblings, everyone usually brings one. Their families come, so their spouses are there too. And you can imagine, or maybe you can't, let me just picture this, just an insanely big buffet. You probably have about 20 different dishes of food, and then there's like, everyone always ends up bringing the same pie, so there's just tons of pie. There's so much food. My husband's side is super, super fun too. Usually a little bit longer, and we'll play cards. All right, I feel like that outer edge is blended really pretty well, so now I'm gonna dip back in just a tiny bit and do the inner corner. I'm going to just take a crease brush really quick. I'm not going to put any product on this, and I'm just going to kind of blend out that crease just a little bit more. A pretty effortless blend. Okay, so that eye is done with the dark. Now I just need to do the other eye, and then we'll touch back for the halo. But I want to deepen the outer corners like just a little bit more. So I think I'm going to just go in with the shade Ritual, just that matte brown. So it's pretty dark. That's going to help blend the dark black with that lighter caramel tone and kind of mesh the two together. Let's do a little bit of the under eye. I don't know why I've been liking this brush from e.l.f. so much lately, but I just do. I'm going to go in with the shade Ritual, but instead of going in with the matte, I'm going to go in with the sequin. And it just has this really beautiful kind of gold micro glitter in there. And we're going to place that right under the eye. Okay, let's blend this out. Blend it, blend it, blend. And a cookie. Now to brighten up the inner eye, let's take a little bit of the sequin shade of Aura. I really love this one for brightening up the eye because I feel like it's just slightly more pigmented than the matte Aura. So we're going to place that just right dead in the center. Again with the eye boogers, I tell ya. Since I have dark eyes, I just don't like to line them with black in my eyes. I wish I had like a light brown. A light like metallic brown would be so pretty. I think I'm gonna line them with a nude in the waterline just to brighten them a little bit. But if you have like a light metallic brown at home, oh, that'd be so pretty. Okay, so we just added a little bit of brightness to the lower waterline. Now it's time to apply the final step in our shadow, which is the glitter. I feel like the black would be so pretty and just a gorgeous kind of glam look for the holiday. So I'm gonna go in with that, and it is more of like a kind of a midnight blue gray, super smoky. So I'm gonna pop that right in the center, create kind of the halo look. Wow. This is so pretty. Oh my gosh. I really love this. I think that is just so pretty, and the sparkles are just so pretty. I just love sparkles. I did forget to do one step, so I want to go back in with the pencil brush and take the metallic shade of Aura, this one right here, so we can highlight the brow a little bit. Wow, that is so pigmented. And now for my least favorite part, which is eyeliner. We're gonna just do our best, but I'm not very eyeliner savvy, so I'm just gonna do this part really quick and then we'll come back. Eyeliner is done, thank goodness. I'm just gonna go ahead and go off camera and do the setting spray, mascara, and lashes, and then we'll come back to do lips. So lashes are on, mascara's on. I did put on a little bit of brow gel, sprayed the face with some Urban Decay. Now for highlight, I'm gonna use How Many Carats by Fenty Beauty. So I'm going to dip into this. This one is such a beautiful formula. Almost gives you kind of like a wet highlight look. And I also added some little bling earrings. These ones are new to my paparazzi collection. They are available if you would like them. We can be twins. Just find me on Facebook. Could shop my lives. I don't want to go too crazy, so let's just go ahead and go in with the lips now too. I'm going to use our trusty, we've been using this almost every single one of these looks. This is the e.l.f. Natural Liner. And then for lip color, I'm going to use the Dose of Colors Liquid Lip in the shade Flirty. This is the one I got in BoxyCharm. This one you just need to let dry before you put on gloss. Okay, so for gloss, I'm going to use Buxom Lip Plumper today. I love a good lip plumper. This is the shade Mariah. It's this beautiful pink that has peach undertones. It does have a really weird applicator, but it definitely gets the job done. Look how reflective that is. It is so pretty. The thing I love to do when I'm applying gloss is to, right at my Cupid's bow, just flip it up. Instead of like just going internet, I go like this. So this is it. This is look number 3 for my full glam lovers. I hope you guys enjoyed these 3 different looks. I hope they were helpful and gave you some fun ideas for what you can do to dress up for the holidays. If you need any jewelry, you know where to find me. I love my paparazzi. I hope you guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Enjoy the food. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, like the video, comment down below, and I just really appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.